free will. And yes, we live in a world where nothing is free, except for maybe your ability to make decisions for yourself. And yeah, we are talking about your choices in this life. While free will is defined pretty simplistic in the dictionary as a voluntary choice or the ability to make your choice without divine intervention or cause or circumstance, free will is a bit more complex than that. And so you know the metaphysical is all that shit that exists outside our sense of reality. Things that science can't observe or measure. Things like, yeah, free will. The metaphysics of free will then are established in two ways. The first is defined as the freedom to do what you choose, or to do otherwise, if that's your choice. The second way is what is known as sourcehood. And to make this simple, sourcehood simply means that you are the source for your own choice. And it asks the question, are you the origin for the decision to make that choice? And I'm going to tell you right now that this rabbit hole doesn't have any damn bunnies in it. Just a lot of deep, dark tunnels that probably go to places no one wants to go. Because if you're not responsible for your own choices in life, well then what the fuck is the point? And now we have to take a quick minute and talk about determinism and indeterminism. Indeterminism is the belief that your choices in life are caused by factors out of your control. Leastways, when it comes to hard determinism, soft determinism provides for a little wiggle room in the deterministic view of free will. And there is on the wayside something called illusionism, which just says free will exists only as, yeah, you got it, as an illusion. Indeterminism is just the opposite of determinism, which just makes it a fancy word for free will. And since we are talking about concepts of free will, let's open it up to the concept of free will throughout history. And there's a lot to unpack when you're talking about the history of free will. And to my surprise, the first concept of free will, it didn't arrive till the Greeks started thinking about it. And it's a surprise to me that it wasn't a thing in ancient Mesopotamia. And that is because they believed our lives and our choices were divined by the gods. So yes, we have the ancient Greeks to thank for our belief in free will, and that is because the ancient Greeks asked a lot of questions about everything, including free will, and they did so by separating the focus of free will from the gods to that of humans, and in relation to responsibility. In other words, you're responsible for your own damn behavior, and no more blaming your behavior on the gods. And yep, some Greek dude named Aristotle came up with that one, and he called it moral responsibility. The larger truth here is what the Greeks really did was transform destiny to a thing that was in your control. And most of us take that for granted today. Now it is time, my friends, to look at the proof that is out there for the existence of free will. While proof might not be the right word, because that kind of proof doesn't really exist in our reality, it might be better phrased as the debate over the existence of free will. And one of the first questions I have is, does religion prevent proof of free will? And you might want to think about that one. Before an answer, know that I'm not the only one who was asked that question. Because the accepted answer is not necessarily what you think it is, but it sure does complicate the question as to the existence of free will. Complicates it because if God knows everything, then everything is predetermined. Or if God created us in his image, our choices are in his image. There's also those that claim God gave us free will so that we could learn to love, have a little thing called morality, and eventually find our way home to God. Outside the religious context, though, free will is debated on several different levels, and I'd be remiss not to mention that most legal systems judge you on your behavior. And of course, science has something to add to the debate by asking if a conscious decision is an illusion created by brain activity, as well as asking about the role of genetics and environment. And yeah, if you ask me, science has done nothing to clear up the debate, and has in fact added a lot of confusion to the debate. By that, I mean, what the fuck does science mean when they say that your brain activity knows what the fuck you're gonna do or say before you actually make a conscious decision to do something or anything. And no, scientists have agreed on nothing when it comes to free will, not even the philosophy of free will. And I guess the only thing that's really left to say is thanks for watching, whether it was your choice or not. Free will, think about that just for a second. Okay, and that second usually turns into a minute, then an hour, because it's a interesting topic. I mean, to me, it seems like I'm responsible for all of my choices. I mean, like I said in the video, that's how our legal system is set up. You're responsible for your own behavior. But what if that turns out that ain't the case? Well, you might as well toss the legal system right out the window then. I don't know. That one more time, I'm going to equate free will again to consciousness and then to the afterlife. It's just shit you just don't know about it, and it all exists in the metaphysical realm. We can talk about it, we can debate about it all we want, but our reality is not set up to give us any answers. And with that, when I think about that, and I'm somebody that likes answers, I like an answer, a definitive answer. And yeah, whoever designed this reality just set it up so it ain't all that definitive. And with that, I'll leave you alone and thank you for watching. And please subscribe. And if you made it this far, you damn well should subscribe. Okay.